In the years before the Great War, the Republic of Zaslavia was a relatively obscure Eastern European nation marked by broad industrial plains, crumbling Soviet-era infrastructure, and a population hardened by decades of economic struggle. Hidden somewhere deep in this region stood the Scientific Institute for Research of the Zaslavia Exclusion Zone, or SRZEZ for short. They were a top-secret research facility devoted to the study of strange energy patterns, spatial distortions, and what you may know as anomalies. What began as cautious scientific curiosity soon drew global attention. Anomalies produced artifacts, objects imbued with perplexing properties that defied known physics. However, the SRZEZ group were not the only people aware of this. Militaries, as well as intelligence agencies from around the world, soon cornered the region of Zaslavia. The government, while already fragile, became a battleground for foreign powers seeking control of these artifacts. Rumors of weapons, economic freedom, and even supernatural leverage over things like wildlife. As tensions escalated between global superpowers, whispers of a looming catastrophe began to spread like wildfire. Then, they heard it. That dreaded siren. In every village and dusty border town, people heard the same warning.
Nuclear strike inbound.
The people of this region had 60 seconds to abandon whatever remained of their life and sprint for the nearest bunker. Public shelters were never meant for this. Bunkers built for civil defense were half-finished, underfunded, or forgotten entirely. Families separated in the streets. Soldiers abandoned checkpoints to run home. Others locked the doors behind themselves, sealing out the neighbors in a panic to survive. Those who made it underground were spared from the immediate firestorm. However, above ground, entire districts, villages, homes were destroyed in a blinding light. The bomb, however, did not end the war. The nuclear detonation interacted with the anomaly field surrounding Zaslavia in ways no model could predict. Radiation warped instead of dispersing. Shockwaves folded space unevenly. Areas miles from the blast were untouched, while others collapsed inward as if it swallowed itself. Days passed, then weeks, then months. No rescue came. Radio broadcasts repeated automated messages long after their operators were dead. Military channels devolved into static and screams. Some claimed other bombs fell elsewhere. Others said Zaslavia was sacrificed, erased to prevent something far worse from spreading. In the months following the blasts, survivors emerged expecting orders, rescue, or at least explanation. But none came. The sky remained a dull, bruised gray, lit at night by distant fires that never seemed to die. Ash fell like snow, coating roads, fields, and rooftops in a fine, choking powder that carried radiation deep into the lungs. Animals either fled the region or changed. Those that remained grew aggressive, malformed, or eerily still, as if listening to something humans could not hear. Emergency response plans collapsed almost immediately. Military units sent to Zaslavia never returned, or reported impossible terrain shifts, compasses spinning wildly, and landmarks vanishing overnight. Supply drops missed their target by miles, swallowed by distortions in the air. Eventually, even the attempt stopped. Power grids failed in irregular patterns. Some cities went dark forever. Others flickered back to life for hours or days at a time. Machines operating with no operators, broadcasting fragments of the old world into the empty air. Those who survived long enough began to understand a grim truth. The zone was stabilizing, but on its own terms. Radiation hardened into permanent dead zones. Anomalies settled into repeating cycles, predictable only to those who lived long enough to study them. Mutated creatures now claimed territories, pushing deeper into ruins and forests as human presence faded. Beyond Zaslavia's borders, the world quietly rewrote its maps. Officially, the region became a permanent exclusion area. Unofficially, it became a rumor, something discussed in whispers, denied in public, and abandoned in policy. Inside the zone, time did not heal. It endured. No investigation ever reached a rightful conclusion. What records survived the war contradict each other. Timestamps that don't align, sensor data that shows effects occurring before causes, and radiation readings that rise and fall as if responding to observation itself. Analysts outside the zone eventually stopped trying to reconcile the data. There were no models left that could explain it. Some believe the bomb was meant as containment, a desperate attempt to cauterize something that had already broken free from Cerzez. Others argue it was an act of fear, a preemptive strike born from misinterpretation, doomed from the moment anomaly signatures were mistaken for weapon fire. However, a smaller, quieter theory circulates among those remaining scientists and veteran zone runners. The detonation did not destroy anomaly fields, it synchronized with them. Since the blast, anomalies appear to exhibit structure, patterns, rhythms, even escalation. Artifact emissions spike in response to human activity. Certain areas of the zone grow more hostile the longer they are avoided. Scavengers speak of paths that lead somewhere different each time they're walked, of ruins that rearrange after long absences, of radio transmissions that replay voices from before the war, sometimes addressing listeners by name. Whether the zone is alive, adaptive, or merely reflecting the trauma inflicted upon it, it's impossible to say. But one truth has become undeniable among those who survived long enough. The bomb was not an ending. It was an introduction. Thank you to everyone who made it to the end of this video. I know it's different compared to what I usually upload, but I hadn't seen anybody do a lore type video for Misery, so thought I'd be the first. Hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, a like is always appreciated, as well as subscribing if you are new. We're aiming for 2,000 subscribers by the end of January, which I know you guys got it. You guys are amazing, shown amazing support to the channel so far. So let's keep it going. 2,000 subscribers. I know we can do it, but I will be back with regular uploads starting either tomorrow or the next day. It is New Year's, so I'll be partying. I hope you will be as well. Go out, have some fun, and I will see you guys very, very soon.